Driveway Primitive here, and I'm going to talk to you today about Egyptian walking onions. Walking onions or topset onions. They get called a lot of different things. Obviously I've pulled this one up for you. There is a nice onion bulb at the bottom of the plant, but it also produces these little mini bulbs, or bulbils they call them. And each one of these is a plant too. And the reason they call them walking onions is because this plant will be in the ground. As you can see, some of these have already started flopping over. They get so tall they fall over, and these bulbils hit the ground and they slowly root and make their own little plant. And so you'll see in a garden, slowly, it's not invasive at all. You can keep up with it, but these plants will move about 3 feet a year. They just flop over, grow, flop over, grow. They'll expand out. They do a little march. And I'm not sure where they actually came from. I question whether they're Egyptian or not, although the Egyptians did have onions and used onions for their diets and for their religious practices. Lots of things onions were used for. We use them today. This is an older variety that people used to have in their gardens, our grandparents' generation. It's almost forgotten now. Most people don't know what they are when they see them. They're a very pretty plant. I think they're very beautiful. And they're easy to grow. I do have them on a slight hill. They seem to like drainage rather than just a flat garden row. They will grow in a garden row, but I've just given them about a 4 or 5 inch lift, and that seems to be what they like, and they go like gangbusters for me. They are a little bit of a spicier onion. This part can get golf ball size. These are smaller ones. See, it's a pretty white onion when you cut in there. A little hotter than your regular onions that you get at the store. This part can be chopped up, put in soups. It's got a really good flavor. Really good flavor. And these top sets, sometimes people will actually clean these up and pickle them. But you can also eat them, put them in salads, cook them, put them in salads. A little spicy. A little spicy. But a really distinct oniony. There's a sweetness at first, and then a little bit of heat hits as you chew it up. Very good though. I actually think the bulbils, the top sets are as good as the actual onions. Just harder to chop up and put in things. So I love having this plant in my yard. It's something I can rely on. It's one of the first things that I see popping up in the spring after the snows. I've actually seen these grow up through snow. We have fairly mild winters here, but it does get well below freezing. And these guys do great. You don't have to mulch over the top of them at the end of the growing season. You plant them. You can plant them anytime really, but I usually plant them in the fall. And then, like I said, they're the first things coming up. They're one of my favorite old heritage kinds of plants. And this is your introduction to the Egyptian walking onion or topset onion. So hope you've learned a little bit. If you got a place in your yard, you can get these online. I've seen them all over the place, or in your farmer's market bulletin. They're not something you see every day, but they're available, and I highly recommend you put some in your yard, just for the beauty of them and also the edibility factor. Eat the weeds, right? Eat your landscaping. Plant for multiple purposes. In this case, beauty and edibility. Thanks.